Good afternoon, or good evening rather, and welcome to our latest instalment on the Saturday Game Live, where we come with a match. The main event comes from Anfield. Liverpool take on Brighton. John Stuttard here, JB is your big match commentator. There's been wins for Arsenal. There was a late finish at Bournemouth, which we'll tell you about a bit later. There was also one or two happenings going on. A win for Leicester, having to come from behind against Southampton. Huddersfield finished 0-0, and Wolves holding the league champions at lunchtime 1-1. But without further ado, before we move into the build-up for tonight's big game, our main event, let's go through the whole issue of the 3 o'clock kickoffs, starting with the full classified check. Beginning, of course, with the Premier League. Arsenal 3, West Ham 1, Bournemouth 2, Everton 2, Huddersfield 0, Cardiff 0. Liverpool against Brighton, that's our game, and kick off at 5:30. Southampton 1, Leicester City 2, and Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Manchester City 1. Sky Bet Championship. Aston Villa 1, Reading 1, Blackburn Rovers 1, Brentford 0, Bolton Wanderers 0, Sheffield United 3, Derby County 2, Preston North End 0, Norwich City 0, Leeds United 3, Nottingham Forest against Birmingham City, that's an evening kickoff at 5:30. QPR 1, Wigan Athletic 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2, Ipswich 1, Stoke 2, Hull City 0, and Swansea 0, Bristol City 1. League 1, AFC Wimbledon 1, Sunderland 2, Blackpool 1, Accrington Stanley 1, Bradford City 1, Wickham 2, Bristol Rovers 0, Southend United 1, Charlton 0, Fleetwood 0, Doncaster 0, Portsmouth 0, Gillingham 1, Coventry City 1, Luton 3, Shrewsbury 2, Oxford 3, Burton 1, Plymouth Argyle 1, Peterborough United 5, Rochdale 1, Walsall 2, and Scunthorpe 2, Barnsley 2. Sky Bet League 2. Cambridge 0, Cheltenham 1, Carlisle 1, Crewe 0, Colchester 1, Northampton 2, Crawley 3, Bury 2, Forest Green Rovers 1, Swindon Town 1, Lincoln 3, Notts County 1, Macclesfield Town 1, Mansfield Town 1, the MK Dons 1, Exeter City 0, Morecambe 0, Oldham 2, Newport 1, Grimsby Town 0, Tranmere 1, Port Vale 0, and Yeovil 2, Stevenage Borough 0. The Vanarama National League. Barrow 1, Braintree Town 0, Bournemouth 2, FC Halifax 1, Chesterfield 0, Barnet 1, Dagenham and Redbridge 1, Hartlepool 2, Dover 1, Eastleigh 2, Ebbsfleet 3, Aldershot Town 1, Gateshead 1, Leyton Orient 1, Harrogate 3, Solihull Moors 1, Hampton Waterlooville 1, Salford City 1, Maidenhead 3, Maidstone 2, Sutton United 0, AFC Fylde 0, and Wrexham 2, Bromley 2. Ladbrokes Premier League. Hibernian 1, Aberdeen 1, Kilmarnock 0, Hearts 1, St Johnstone 1, Dundee 0, and St Mirren 0, Livingston 2. Ladbrokes Championship. Ayr United 4, Dunfermline 1, Dundee United 3, Partick Thistle 1, Falkirk 0, Queen of the South 3, Inverness Caledonian Thistle 2, Alloa Athletic 2, and Greenock Morton 2, Ross County 1. Ladbrokes League 1, Airdrie 3, Rafe 4, Brechin 3, Dumbarton 2, East Fife 0, Arbroath 3, Forfar 2, South Stenhousemuir 0, and Stranraer 2, Montrose 0. Into Ladbrokes League 2, Berwick Rangers 0, Annan 3, Clyde 0, Edinburgh City 2, Elgin City against Cowdenbeath, match postponed. Queen's Park 2, Albion 0, and Stirling Albion 0, Peterhead 2. JD Welsh Premier League, Llandudno 0, Newtown 0, and the New End 6, Carmarthen Town 0. Finally, the Danske Bank Premiership, Cliftonville 1, Linfield 1, Glentoran 2, Gungannon Swiss 1, and finally Warren Point 1, Crusaders 2. And that brings you up to date with the full classified check. So let's have a look at the league table as things stand, with Liverpool still to play. City and Bournemouth joint top with 7 points. Chelsea play tomorrow. So do Watford. They've both got 100% records. So Liverpool could go top if they win in our featured match in about just over 10 minutes from kick-off. Then comes Spurs in 6th place, Leicester in 7th, Everton 8th, Manchester United in 9th place, and Crystal Palace finishing off the top 10 there with 3 points. And a look at the bottom end of the table. Well, Arsenal will feel a lot better about things, getting their first win today against West Ham United. A bit concerned about Burnley and Newcastle and Southampton at the moment. Cardiff have moved up to 2 points. Wolves also up to 2 points. Brighton have got the 3 they got against United. Arsenal up to 11th, incidentally. The bottom 3 as it stands, Huddersfield with a -8 goal difference, but they have 1 point to their name. Fulham have yet to win, but play the Clarets tomorrow. And West Ham, who have played 3 and have been beaten heavily. Well, they've been beaten heavily at least 2 times on the travels, and embarrassed last week away at home to Bournemouth. So plenty of work for the Hammers to do there in terms of the Premier League table for those teams at the wrong end of the table. Let's hope Burnley can get off to a winning start in the Clarets match tomorrow. The Sky Bet Championship, well, it's as you were at the top. Leeds United and Middlesbrough have 13 points each. Leeds United have a plus 10 goal difference to Middlesbrough's plus 7. Then come Bolton, who lost today, Aston Villa, who drew late on, and Blackburn you know who. I love to mention their name. And Derby County, they're all in 6th place. Sheffield United, Brentford, Bristol City, Swansea, West Brom and Wigan all closing in still. It's early days yet in the Championship. There's 46 games, still a lot to do. And at the wrong end of the table, let's have a look at where we are. Ipswich are the bottom at the moment with 2 points from their 5 games. So too are Reading, and so too are Birmingham City, but they kick off against Nottingham Forest, who are in 14th place behind Sheffield Wednesday. They've got 6 points to their credit. Then come Millwall, Stoke, Norwich, Hull, Preston, Rotherham and QPR in 21st place. So that's the outlook there in the Sky Bet Championship. And we will get on to the build up to the game. This is the League 1, just to go through the top 6. Peterborough top, still got that 100% record, going very, very well. Steve Evans' side, 15 points from 5 games, plus 11 goal difference. Sunderland and Portsmouth right behind them on 13 points each. So too Walsall have made a solid start to the season. Barnsley and Fleetwood completing the top 6. Doncaster 7th, but look at Accrington Stanley. What a start for them! In 8th place with 8 points. A team with probably the lowest budget in the whole of the league, the Football League, and here they are now in 8th place in the 3rd tier of English football. What a remarkable achievement so far. If they can stay up this season, Accrington, there's every chance in the world for them. Gillingham then come next, then Luton, Southend and Blackpool, who are obviously still looking to replace Gary Bowyer, who sensationally quit a couple of weeks ago. At the wrong end of the table, Plymouth, who has very slow start as usually. Then comes Shrewsbury, who missed out last year in the playoffs, you may remember. Oxford and Burton. At the top of League 2, Lincoln and Danny Cowley are doing really well. Then come A Dons ahead of Exeter City, so 2 up there. And at the bottom, problems really mounting up, the likes of Cheltenham, Cambridge, Morecambe, Macclesfield and Notts County, who were so close to being in the so close to winning the playoffs. At the top of the National League, Wrexham top from Fylde, then come Harrogate, Halifax, Sutton, Gateshead and Ebbsfleet, Barrow and Leyton Orient knocking around there. At the bottom 4, it was looking bleak for the likes of Barnet, Maidenhead, Dover, Aldershot, Braintree and Dagenham and Redbridge. In the Ladbrokes Premiership, well, 3 wins out of 3 for Hearts. They're top by 3 or 4 points from Burnley in second place. Then come Aberdeen. Rangers and Celtic still to play tomorrow. Kilmarnock and Livingston in 5th and 6th. Celtic down in 8th at the moment. So that brings you up to date. COC Boy says Seagulls. Shrewsbury Town was an upset. Well, we have had it all here. Let's just remind you of the scores from earlier today. Arsenal 3, West Ham 1, Bournemouth 2, Everton 2, Huddersfield Cardiff was 0-0, Southampton losing at home to Leicester 2-1, and in the early kick-off, bit of controversy there at Molineux as Wolves and Manchester City played out a 1-1 draw. And you're welcome to make comments on today's game. We're about 8 minutes away from kick-off at Anfield, but a big game between Liverpool and Brighton. Brighton were beaten here 4-0 at the back end of the last season, and they'd never seemed to do well at Anfield. I think the most memorable victory they've ever had in their history of playing Liverpool was that FA Cup winning 1983, where they beat Liverpool on the way to reaching the FA Cup final that year. Jimmy Case with the winning goal, you may remember. But the older Brighton fans that particular afternoon, and what a shot that caused in that part of the world. They actually went on to get relegated, sadly, that season. But they made a solid start. They were poor in their first match against, you may recall, against Watford, when they were soundly beaten 2-0. But they bounced back superbly with a fantastic result against Manchester United last week. It was really a real stuff of dream stuff, really, because they were 2 up in no time at all. United got back in, and then they went 3-1 up, probably reducing the arrears towards the end. But it was a fantastic performance, and I don't think Brighton got enough credit for that victory last week when they should have had, because all the talk was about Jose Mourinho and what went wrong there. But I have to be perfectly honest, I actually thought Brighton were good value for the win last week, and they showed more guts and determination afternoon than what Burnley showed in 45 minutes, in the second 45 minutes against Watford on the same afternoon. But let's go through the two lineups for you very quickly. You may want to jot these names down. So let's have a look at the teams. Liverpool start with Alisson in goal. Then it's Trent Alexander-Arnold, Gomez, Van Dijk, Robertson, Milner, Ronaldo. Keita, Mo Salah is up front, so he starts today. Roberto Firmino and Sadio Mane. On the bench for Liverpool, you've got Henderson, Sturridge, Moreno, Adam Lallana, Simon Mignolet, the backup goalkeeper, Shaqiri and Joel Matip. For Brighton, Matt Ryan starts in goal for them, the Australian international. Montoya, Balogun, Duffy and Gitan Bong. Then in the midfield you've got Knockout, Stevens, Proper, March and Bizuma, with Glenn Murray who scored a fantastic goal, you may remember, against Manchester United last week. He's starting up front. On the bench for Brighton and Hove Albion you've got Kyle, Locadia, Pascal Gross who can affect things in the number 10 role himself. This is a very pronounceable name, but I'll try him. Yayan Bakaska, Button, Sutner, Button obviously being the substitute goalkeeper, Sutner and Bernardo. The referee today is Chris Kavanagh. So far Liverpool have beaten West Ham and Crystal Palace. You may well remember that we covered Liverpool in their last match of the season, and they were last match against Crystal Palace on Monday, and they were absolutely superb. I felt, against Crystal Palace, although there was a lot of controversy. Should Palace have had a man sent off? Should they have had a penalty at the end of the first half? Russ Vernon was the commentator that evening. He felt the decisions that the referee made that night for Liverpool were right, but they are a good team, Liverpool, and I don't think you could knock them for that. We're just waiting on the teams to come. Tunnel here at Anfield, so You Never Walk Alone. It's a great anthem, one of the best footballing anthems you could ever wish to have, and it's one of the emotional ones as well. And Anfield it looks an absolute palace, and Liverpool actually going for their first league title for the first time since 1990 when they outpointed Aston Villa, who were second that day. And look where Aston Villa are right now. They're in they're in the Championship and struggling to beat a team at the wrong end of the table. But Liverpool have also been the subject of a bid from the Sheikh Mansouri family, the brother of Sheikh Mansouri, who of course is the owner of Manchester City. There was a £2 billion offer on the table, but I think that's been turned down to buy Liverpool. So Liverpool here, not for sale, but I have to say it's I think with Klopp on board now, and I think Liverpool, I honestly think that Liverpool can make an outstanding challenge for the title here, and we really are looking forward to this immensely here this evening. I can't wait to get on board and commentate on this game. We're just waiting for the teams to pop out here in front of a fantastic crowd here at Anfield this evening. Should be a full house for this one. Game kicks off, of course, at 5:30 this evening, in front of probably what's going to be a very raucous atmosphere. We are waiting to get started here. What an atmosphere! Just to remind you that Wolves and Manchester City dropped 2 points. They hit the bar 3 times in the match, one of them being a save from Patricio, and the Wolves goal looked as if it came in off a hand as well. But having said all that, it doesn't really matter. It's all about getting the points, and Wolves did well to get the points. Please, if you want to comment, please put hashtag JBLive. Can't emphasise enough JB Live. And a special mention to Leeds United in the Championship. Ross Vernon's team, regular viewers will know what I'm talking about. They had a fantastic win at Norwich today, 3-0. And there must be something in the tea at Ellen Road, because at the moment they are just not stopping winning at the moment. And all credit, and who knows, we could do with a team like Leeds back in the Premiership next season. I don't know what's happened to Izagero, to be quite honest with you. I haven't been watching Brighton quite a lot this season. This is the first time I've actually had the chance to cover them, so I honestly don't know, to be quite honest with you. That's the old. Well, I believe. Well, he might be injured then. I don't know, mate. To be quite honest with you, I only saw 45 minutes of the match at the Amex last week, obviously, and obviously we were preoccupied with Burnley. I don't know. I really don't know, because I haven't seen enough of Brighton this season to comment on them. So this is the first chance I've had to cover them since last season. The last time we covered a Brighton game on this YouTube channel, it was a 2-1 victory over Arsenal, you may remember, on a memorable Sunday afternoon, when Arsene Wenger's side was all over the place. So we're just waiting for the teams to come out here, and what an atmosphere it's going to be, and there's no doubt about that. And I've got no doubts at all that this game will be feisty. There's going to be goals in it. I can't see it being goalless, that's for sure, but we'll just have to wait and see. But it's a game that I'm especially looking forward to. Anfield is always a great place to watch a football match, and Anfield is always buzzing on a match day, and I cannot wait to get started on this match this afternoon. And I will bring you a roll call of the two teams as soon as we're up and running again. We're just waiting for the teams to pop out here. JB Lab, they're going to add 16 new stadiums to FIFA 19. They're going to add a bit more than that. They're adding 16 stadiums to La Liga, and they're going to add another 4 or 5. They're adding 4 to the Premier League, Tottenham's new ground, and the 3 promoted teams. And of course, they're in the Dortmund Stadium as well. So they're going to have Dortmund's ground back on it. So there's going to be in all 21 new stadiums on FIFA 19. So a massive 21 stadiums. And the whole of La Liga practically to the exception of obviously of Barcelona, who have this ridiculous contract with Pez, unfortunately, and that's sad. But we're not here to talk about gaming. I know FIFA 19 is upon us, and there will be FIFA 19 content on this channel in due course in October time, because the game comes out, of course, in late September. We're still waiting to get underway here at Anfield, incidentally. As soon as we have footage, we'll be able to begin the commentary. In the meantime, we are underway now at Anfield. We have just gone underway. So, Liverpool to get us underway. It just took us a little while there to get on there, but we are back and underway. 10 seconds gone, 0-0. I will re-satellize the teams in case you haven't known. The ball's out of play for an early throw in there to Brighton. So just to go through the Liverpool side, it's Alisson in goal, Alexander-Arnold, Gomez, Van Dijk and Robertson, Milner, Wijnaldum, Keita, Salah, Firmino and Mane for Liverpool. So the back four, Robertson, Van Dijk, Gomez and Trent Alexander-Arnold, as Brighton have the ball over on that side. Good tackle there when it comes to Mane. Keita, Wijnaldum and Milner the three-man midfield, and then it's three up top with Mane, Firmino the central striker and Mo Salah on the left hand side. Milner pointing out to the far side here for Liverpool. 4-1-4-1 for Brighton, and as the ball gets ushered back, Matt Ryan in goal for the Seagulls today, and then it's Gitan Bong, Balgoin, Shane Duffy and Montoya. Four in midfield, Solly Marchdale, Stevens, Davy Popper and Anthony Knockout, and it's Bissouma and Glenn Murray up front. On the bench for Liverpool, Henderson, Sturridge, Moreno, Robert, Lallana, Mignolet, Shaqiri and Matip. For Brighton, Kyle, Lokeda, Gross, Jan Baska, Button, Sutner and Bernardo. The referees, Chris Kavanagh. We've been playing a minute and a half and still no breakthrough here. So I think a really important game here. Just remember, hashtag JB Live if you want to call anything or talk about the game here today. You can have your views on the controversy at, in Athens the other night when we covered the Olympiacos Burnley match, where it appears to be, by all accounts, on the wrong end of some real skullduggery, because if you remember they got a penalty given against them at 2-1 down and a red card against Ben Gibson, which was doubly harsh, really, when you think about it. So I'd like to gauge your views on that, guys. I mean, I'm sure you've seen the match, and there was talk that the Olympiacos chairman or the owner had gone into the referee's room and tried to put pressure on the Slovenian referee. And this has only come to light this morning in a newspaper column. But never won in 5 matches as a manager, actually, Chris Hughton. That's when he was at Norwich, and obviously at Brighton, where he is now. With ball have it on the far side, little chip forward towards Mo Salah, who's back in business and scoring plenty of goals so far this season. This is the number 22, Montoya coming forward. Brighton in the striped shirts, blue and white stripes, and here comes Mane now trying to get Firmino in behind, but he can't do. Good blanket defence by Brighton, who had that remarkable win over Manchester United, you may recall, a week ago, which really sent shockwaves and put Jose Mourinho under a heck of a lot of pressure, and it led to rifts in the camp. You may remember we were talking about it, Russ Vernon and I, after the match against Palace and Liverpool. This is Solly March over on the far side up against Trent Alexander-Arnold. Solly March wins the throw about 15-20 yards inside the Liverpool half. Brighton incidentally attacking the goal to our right. That's the Kop in the first half. A long throw there, flick on by March towards the edge of the penalty area, hooked away by Liverpool. That was Van Dijk who getting that one away for the men from Anfield. Now the ball up towards Mo Salah, and Salah now has got Bong to take on here on the right hand side. The ball back inside, a chance here for the first goal, and just wide. And it was a good effort there from Mane. Hits it with his left foot from about just around the edge of the D, cutting from the right. The ball was cut back from the right hand side. It was a really good cut back, actually. Mo Salah there starting as he means to go on here. beats Gitambong. Tiffy doesn't exist. Put ball back. Manny with the left foot, and this, I'm just looking inside the goal, and I tell you what, that's probably about 3 inches the other way. That's 1-0. And that would have been a remarkable start for Liverpool inside the opening exchanges of this game. Liverpool, of course, naturally favourites with the bookmakers, even odds-on favourites. Brighton, definite big outsiders in a two-horse race, that is for sure. But well, we've seen outsiders come to Liverpool over the years and win, but on the law of averages, you would expect Liverpool to win the match here today. Our Saturday tea time games have actually been quite good games. We saw that terrific game at Wolves on the opening weekend, and then last week we saw Arsenal and Chelsea play out a 5-goal thriller, which Chelsea edged 3-2 in what was really a remarkable game of football. Now a chance here for Glenn Murray. Murray now towards the edge of the area, and here's a chance now for number 11. Knockout now. Knockout has the shot, hits it, cuts in from the right hand side into the area, hits it from about 17-18 yards out. Knockout with his left foot, and he hits it down Alisson Becker's throat, and it's easy there for the goalkeeper. That Brazilian goalkeeper signed from Roma in the summer, reported £60 million, and that was at the time a record for the most expensive goalkeeper. That was obviously topped with Chelsea signing Kepa, their goalkeeper, which we featured on the Saturday game live last week. And unlike him, Alisson seems to have settled into life pretty well, and they've let Karius go out on loan to Besiktas for the season, which might just rebuild his reputation being away from the pressures that Anfield can operate in. Milner getting that forward towards Salah on the right hand side, about 15-20 yards inside the Brighton half, but Brighton winning it well. And again, Milner in with a tackle, very sharp. We're now number 8, Chiesa, takes the ball inside the centre circle, plays it towards Manny. Manny has got Robertson bursting down the left hand side if he needs to play it. Knockout back there for Brighton, and then Duffy hooking it away there for the Seagulls. Chiesa again picks the ball up. Ball ricochets around. Ronaldo takes the possession inside the centre circle. Now it's back on halfway, and it's Matic now or Van Dijk rather, for Liverpool. 0-0 it is, with 7 minutes gone just over here in a very sunny and glorious looking Anfield. And the ball, an attempted ball there by Manny, cut out there, and away go Brighton, giving away once more. Salah trying to get on there, but again Duffy in the way. And Mane takes possession again for Liverpool. 0-0 here. And here comes Ronaldo, the former Newcastle man. Coming up towards nearly 8 minutes of the first half, and Brighton holding in there very well. They'll be full of confidence after that remarkable win against Manchester United. They've lost Lewis Dunk, of course, for injury in that game at the Amex last week. As we see Robertson penalised there. Knockout going in very strongly. Brighton have let Thomas Hammond go to QPR, and Thomas Hammond in fact scored the winning goal at Loftus Road when they beat Wigan by 1-0. They certainly kept Will Grigg extinguished, well quelled there. He wasn't on fire that day. Here's on this afternoon. Here's the number 4 now, Van Dijk charging forward, finds Andy Robertson. Left hand side, cutting towards Firmino. Firmino trying to play the 1-2 with Robertson down the left, but again, good defending act from Montoya. And here's a chance now for Liverpool. And here's Manny to Robertson. Robertson across him from the left hand side in towards the 6-yard area, and that's a great save to deny Firmino from point blank range to about 3 yards out. Matt Ryan, what a save! That save of the day for me so far. The Australian goalkeeper there required to make a really good save here. Looked like Firmino was going to make it 1-0 here. Good football here. And in fact, it was Mo Salah it was intended to. And in fact, no, it wasn't. It was Firmino. Bullet header. And Ryan, with the outstretched right hand, gets there and makes a stunning save. Fantastic. It's really good goalkeeping. Jurgen Klopp just stands there, doesn't leap up or attempts to leap up. But it was a really good effort there by Firmino. And a really good save. And that has to go down as save of the day for me. Although I haven't seen any of the 3 o'clockers, so I wouldn't be able to comment. But in my opinion, that's the save of the afternoon. The ball breaks loose here for Brighton. Murray was lurking inside the penalty area, but Liverpool deal with it. And now here they come again. Firmino, who was denied a second or two ago, beats the defender Knockaert. Firmino now looks for Salah. And the ball hooked away. Will be a corner kick to Liverpool off Dale Stevens. The big number 6 for Brighton. 10 gone in the first half. Minutes, that is. Liverpool 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 0. The late came. Man City earlier today dropping points. Van Dijk. Gomez, ball forward from the back. Salah with the corner, left-footed into the penalty area from the left-hand side, away by Brighton. It'll come for Salah a second time, and then the ball hooked back in there by Robertson. Little deflection, but it favours goalkeeper Ryan. And Brighton can survive that particular onslaught there by the men in red, who are looking to make it 9 points out of a possible 9 today, having won their first 2 very convincingly, certainly against West Ham here 4-0. And then of course Palace in a well, some will say controversial, but they got the job done. Weren't at their fluent best, because Palace made it a very difficult night, and it will make it difficult. Palace will make it difficult for teams that do visit Selhurst throughout the course of the season. But I was very impressed with the way Liverpool were professional and patient. And that's a sign of Jurgen Klopp's managership. I think this is why I think they'll drive Manchester City close here. But that point for Wolves might just help Liverpool. They need to help themselves, of course, by beating Brighton. And it's not going to be an easy test, because they, as I said, they're high on confidence, having beaten Manchester United here at the Amex last week. And here goes Murray on the chase, and Alisson definitely out of his goal, and in the end he's miscontrolling on the far side. And Alisson, well, he can feel a little bit pleased with himself there that the Brighton player didn't control that well. In fact, it wasn't Murray, it might have been Bazuma. Alisson comes out there, takes on Bazuma. In fact, it wasn't. It was Solly March. I do apologise. I've got it wrong twice. Then there was a potential appeal for handball, and the arm looked out there. That looked more a penalty there to Liverpool than the one Olympiacos got 2 nights ago. Not that I'm sour grapes or anything. Here come Liverpool now. Maybe one Chris Kavanagh didn't spot. But I didn't see any great appeals from Liverpool players that I could see. Here's Stevens now midway inside the Brighton half, and he finds number 22 here, Montoya. Finds Anthony Knockaert, the Frenchman. Back to Montoya again, in field he goes. And lovely football this from Brighton, looking to get Glenn Murray in behind once again, but it's cut out. And here's Manny now, or rather Keita on the break. Keita now towards the area, he was trundled over, free kick. Right on the edge of the box, it was Dale Stevens with the tackle, the captain. Well, Keita was on a really good run, and yes, about a couple of yards outside the box. I don't think you could have given that as a penalty. I think that would have been rather harsh, but definitely a free kick against Dale Stevens that time. Well, the free kick is practically 20 yards, and it's definitely to the left of the D. And Matt Ryan, who's been called in to make a miraculous save to deny Firmino about 5 minutes ago, has now got to face this free kick. Milner can hit them. Alexander-Arnold, as we've known in the Champions League last season, as we covered that match, their playoff match, he can hit them as well. And of course, Mo Salah could well be a favourite with the left foot. It looks as if it's going to be neither the right foot of Alexander-Arnold or the left of Mo Salah here. For the 5 men in the Brighton wall, Knockaert interestingly standing behind that wall. Alexander-Arnold with the right foot off the bar, curled in well and then hit the frame of the bar and bounced over the top end of the Anfield Road end and behind for a goal kick. But it was a really good effort there by Trent Alexander-Arnold with the right foot. Over the wall it went, Matt Ryan handled to Price and saved by the crossbar. Really good free kick that from Trent Alexander-Arnold. 14 and a half minutes gone, and Liverpool now have hit the crossbar. And so far so good for the men at Anfield. Although Alisson has had an uncomfortable moment at the other end, but he got away with it. Solly March involved. This is Solly March on the far side, but the ball didn't quite reach him, or it did reach him and he just miscontrolled it. In fact, there was an offside decision. Quarter of an hour gone in the first half at Anfield. Liverpool 0, Brighton 0. Liverpool have forced the better chances, obviously, as you've seen. There's been quite a lot of sendings off, in fact, over the 3 o'clock games. We had a sending off at Bournemouth, 2 sent off at Bournemouth. We had 1 sent off at Huddersfield. And we had 1 sent off at Southampton. And Richarlison, the Everton man, he got sent off for violent conduct. Alan Smith followed him down to the changing rooms. He had an early bath. We saw a man sent off at Huddersfield. And we also saw Højbjerg sent off for Southampton as they crashed a defeat against Leicester. Let's just bring you up to date with what happened today, in case you have only just come in. Where have you been? Earlier today, Wolves and Man City drew 1 apiece in what was a fiery encounter, which left Pep Guardiola upset. Arsenal have got their first win under Umar Emery, 3-1 over West Ham, who are yet to pick up a win. Bournemouth and Everton, of course, finished 2-2 and a man sent off each. Huddersfield 0, Cardiff 0. As that shot comes in, was a final score there from Alexander-Arnold, and he also finished Southampton 1, Leicester 2. So plenty of Premier League action going on at the moment. Leeds, of course, winning at Norwich 3-0 and winning comfortably as well. 16 and a half minutes gone. Liverpool 0, Brighton and Albion 0 in the Premier League. Saturday game live. Hopefully we'll have Chris Whiteman back very, very soon to commentate for us as well. We had Russ making his seasonal debut last week. Hopefully we'll have Chris Whiteman back from all the troubles very soon, and so he can add his undoubted talents and voice to the experience here. Well, he had a great World Cup, you may remember, and covered some key games for us. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel and you've made a comment, just make sure, and you want to make a comment, please make sure you do hashtag it, hashtag JB Live, and that will be a great one for you. As the ball is chipped in there by Van Dijk. Salah on to win the next ball. Manny's in there on the edge of the area, and Brighton can come away here with Knockout in the centre to direct him from the right hand side. And just to remind you, if you're a rugby league fan and you don't know what's happened, Catalan Dragons have won the Challenge Cup, beating Warrington Wolves in a very close encounter at Wembley Stadium this afternoon. We'll get more on that as we come back just before we come back for the second half, because it was a real thriller minute there at Wembley, but it was a very low crowd for the Challenge Cup final, I believe, just over 50,000, and maybe the rugby league future at Wembley Stadium for a major final could well be in jeopardy here. I'm just looking at the handball. He's certainly got his hands up there for me, and I think that's a penalty against Proper. I really do. Liverpool have been denied there. It's K80 now for Liverpool. Could have had a penalty. Hit the bar. Forced a miraculous save from Matt Ryan earlier on in the piece as we come up towards 19 gone in the first half. Robertson in field to Keita. I think a first goal for Liverpool is imminent here as the long ball comes in there towards Mo Salah. Mo Salah knocks it across. There was just nobody in the 6-yard box, and in the end all he could do really is keep it in, hope for the best, get the cross in from the left hand byline, and unfortunately found Matt Ryan. No goals with over 19 minutes gone here at Anfield. The late game of the day, the Saturday game live, and it comes from Anfield. Liverpool and Brighton, the two teams in action for our match this evening. Here's Keita now for Liverpool, finds Virgil van Dijk. It turns behind Gomez. Gomez hits it long down the field, looking to break it. It's going to break on the right here. Possibly here for Liverpool. Down by the corner flag. Solly March doing some defensive work there and just helping his team out a bit. Gitan Bong getting that one away for Brighton. As it's getting a little bit feisty and scrappy over on that far side. And Liverpool win possession. Still 0-0 with 20 minutes of the first half gone. As we'll also keep you abreast of what's happening in the other game in the Championship, because there's a game going on in the Sky Bet Championship that might interest a few of you between Nottingham Forest and Birmingham. Of course, Birmingham it's a battle of two ex-Middlesbrough managers there. Gary Monk for Birmingham and Nottingham Forest Saito Karanka. They all both used to be recent managers at Middlesbrough, so really a battle of the two former Borough managers there. So that's an interesting one there for sure. We'll keep you abreast of what's happening there in that tea time Championship match at the City Ground. And of course Muntenar won the Ebor at York. So we've had a lot of sport happening here today. The Ebor's gone there, and of course we'll let you know if there's any goals that go in the Forest game. We'll give you updates to that one. Currently a goal, there has been a goal in that game around about this time now. 21 minutes gone there, and Jukic Jukovic has put Birmingham City in front. So the current score at the City Ground is Nottingham Forest 0, Birmingham City 1. Lucas Jukovic with the goal there, the former Claret and Coventry City man. So that's a big goal for Birmingham as they look to try and make up some ground and get into that playoff area. They're good enough to. They haven't been able to get they've got the best manager around, so Birmingham winning in that game 1-0. Leeds beating Norwich earlier on as Salah shoots and scores. Mo Salah just to the right of the penalty spot, hit the left-footed side footer beyond Matt Ryan, and halfway through the first half Liverpool take the lead by a goal to nil at Anfield. A fantastic shot into the left-hand corner of the net, and Liverpool fans erupt all around me. And it's going to be a long old evening now for Chris Hughton and his men. And it was all their own doing. They tried to play out from the back, and they got pickpocketed there. The ball went loose a couple of times. Good couple of passes there from Liverpool. And straight into the path of Mo Salah, who was left virtually untracked. And with the side of his left foot, first time, from the left corner, Firmino set him in. And Ryan, I think, got a hand on it, diving away to his right. But it's not enough. Liverpool in front after 23 minutes. Mo Salah continues his good start to the season. And that was an important one. It's his second, in fact, it's only his second goal in the league this season. But again, as a consistent, he's still a Mr. Consistency, if you see what I mean. But really, that really puts the backs up against it now for Brighton. It's going to be a long afternoon for the men from the south coast, from Sussex. As Salah now gets possession out on the far side. Firmino is being fed on the right-hand channel. Firmino cuts inside, leaves Salah alone. And now a chance here for Keita to take possession. Ronaldo leaving it as well. And now good football again by Liverpool. Just settling the nerves there, that first goal. It was a question of time when that goal was going to come. And Mo Salah did just that. Russ is on. Good evening, Russ. Hope you're going to be ready for Monday night, because you've got a big game on tonight, on Monday night for you, because we'll be at Old Trafford for a very big game live on Monday night, match live. Russ will be will be back on the YouTube channel for his second commentary, and what a game he's got. He's got Manchester United against Tottenham Hotspur from Old Trafford. Can't get much better than that. So you'll be able to hear his voice. I will be the presenter of that match, and Russ Vernon will have the very big honour of commentating on a very big match there at Old Trafford. At Anfield here in the Saturday game live, it's Liverpool 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 0. Burnley to come tomorrow. They were live or delayed on the Clarets match. 4 o'clock kick-off from Craven Cottage with me. And then with me and Russ on Monday, we have the bank holiday fixture between Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur. And what a game that's going to be at Old Trafford. Here's Gomez for Liverpool. Over the halfway line. Chiesa taking the ball, feeding Milner. Milner again, short passes here. And really it has been a remarkable game to watch. Salah around the corner. Back to Salah once again. Salah on the edge of the area. Good tackle once again. Almost just didn't quite make it there. I really have enjoyed the way that Liverpool have been passing the ball about here. They've passed it around so crisply, although they misplaced a couple of passes there and given Brighton a cheap throw, albeit in their own half. But I think it all came from the mistake here by Balguno, giving the ball away here. Firmino setting Salah in. It's a great finish with his left foot into the left-hand corner, and the whole of Anfield goes up. And here's James Milner now. He's just spotted over to the left-hand side. Infield to Mane. Mane back in field this time, and Ronaldo looks for a runner on the right, and it's Trent Alexander-Arnold. Good cross, first time on the volley, and headed away by Brighton. Oh, that could have been trouble there for Brighton there, who are now up against it. And Liverpool keeping the ball around really well. Van Dijk now deciding to have a canter forward, and he's found Mane. Referee plays advantage here, midway inside the Brighton half. Liverpool 1, Brighton 0. 27 minutes of the first half gone. Wolves, Man City drew. So too did Bournemouth and Everton. What a game that was. Southampton losing to Leicester. They went down to 10 men as well. We also saw a man sent off as Huddersfield and Cardiff cancelled each other out with a 0-0. So much happening, it's unbelievable. And here is Van Dijk. Finds Milner. Milner goes over now and finds Robertson. Robertson back in field once again. Back towards Gigi Ronaldo, but he loses out this time. And the ball played back once again. Been a very tough 27 minutes for Brighton. Could have easily been 2-3 down. Maybe forced to say a really remarkable save from Matt Ryan at 0-0, and then hit the bar for Alexander-Arnold. They could have had a penalty as well. We're just giving them the highest praise, Russ. I have to say they were fantastic. I thought they were very impressive, and no doubt Norwich will be sunk by that. And well, you've got to fancy Leeds now to get back into that into the top flight again. They've got to be up amongst the bookies now. It's between them and Middlesbrough, between Leeds and Middlesbrough now, to see who goes up. But it's a Brighton free kick, and it's taken from the right hand side towards the back stick, headed back across the goal, I think by Solly March, but I think the flag has gone up for an offside on the near side, and a free kick to Liverpool. Yeah, 3 Brighton players I'm just seeing there in offside positions, and it really is a tough one there. Don't forget JB Live hashtag. Don't forget to hashtag on your comments. JB Live is the hashtag for all our live matches. And Friday night, of course, Leeds United against Middlesbrough. That should be a big game, that one, at the top of the Championship there. Meanwhile, in the Premier League, we've got Liverpool going forward, but again Brighton, who of course came up a couple of years ago into second place behind Newcastle when they got the promotion. They were actually poised to win the championship title. As soon as they got promoted, they, the point of fact, took the foot off the accelerator and ended up finishing second when they knew there was no danger of them going outside the top two. And for so many years they came so mighty close to winning promotion themselves. 2016 there was that controversy against Burnley, of course, and of course there has been one or two scrapes between them and Burnley in the past few years, but I think we can forget all about that now. New season, new dawn, new days. That's all in the history books now. Here's Virgil van Dijk for Liverpool, 0-0 as Gomez played it out to the right hand side. Liverpool playing some good football. Alexander-Arnold from Milner's pass hits it up against the defender. It will be a corner kick to Liverpool. We've played half an hour here at Anfield and Liverpool really are turning up the pressure here. Good block this from Solly March, who really had a fantastic match against Manchester United last Sunday. Virgil van Dijk up from the back. Gomez is there too, almost by the goalkeeper as that corner comes in towards the 6-yard area, headed out once more. Alexander-Arnold to Salah once again. Ball played in there towards Ronaldo, who gets his shot in and turned away fantastically well yet again by Matt Ryan, the Australian. Really good piece of goalkeeping here. Ronaldo had a chance to pirouette turn, gets his shot in with his right foot just to the right of the 6-yard area and at the near post. Matt Ryan guards it very, very well. Third corner for Liverpool. Brighton yet to have a corner in the game. Into the penalty area it goes, only half away. A chance here now on the edge of the area for Mo Salah. It was from Milner's corner initially. Mo Salah's won the ball back, but illegally, says the referee. Foul there on Solly March over on the right hand side. And a free kick to Brighton on their left hand side. Remember, Wolves won, Man City won, Arsenal off the mark with a win now against West Ham. Bournemouth and Everton finished 2-2. Both had a man sent off. Huddersfield had a man sent off but held on for a point against Cardiff. Southampton also had a man sent off but lost to Leicester. And that is what's been happening so far. So far in all the games this round, we've had 4 men sent off and 2 in the same game. And that was down at the Vitality Stadium, of course. It's all happened here in the Premier League. This is knockout on the right hand side. The near side as we look for Brighton, who now come in search of an equalising goal, and it's Montoya now backing him up, and now the ball's had to go back to halfway. Look, Brighton a little bit frustrated at the moment. They're not making any inroads into this Liverpool defence, who have yet to concede a goal, winning both their games 4-0 and 2-0 respectively. And looking a really solid, hard-working, lean, mean machine. Obviously, they're going to have much bigger tests in the future, Liverpool. There's no doubt about that. I think it's going to boil down to the 2 games they get over the piece against Manchester City, I think, to determine whether they do win. Of course, Manchester United as well. Big games there. Chelsea, Arsenal. They don't have a bad record, incidentally, against Arsenal in any of their games. Brighton only won 2 games on the road last season. They did however draw 5, and had the second worst record out of any of the 20 Premier League teams, but it was all about winning the home games, and they certainly won plenty of those at the American Express Community Stadium to give it its full title. And they did a magnificent job in staying up because of the home form. And sometimes when you're a newly promoted team, when you come up the first time, and this is what Cardiff and Wolves will have to do, win their home matches and get points there. This is Robertson now crossing from the left hand side, a chance there for number 2, and it was Manny's header, a little bit tame perhaps, and it was an easy one in the end, for easy scabber in the end for goalkeeper Matt Ryan. But lovely football again, and what a confident cross that was by Andy Robertson. Good cross. Milner went in there. Marnie just didn't get the contact on the header he wanted, and in the end diving the wrong way initially, got back and readjusted his feet very well. Meanwhile, we've got a break on at the other end here for Brighton. Looking for an equaliser. It's Solly March on the far side. March in there towards Murray, and Knockout can't get there at the back stick. And it's out for a throw-in to Liverpool, almost in line with their own 18-yard box on the near side. Just needed a couple of players in blue and white in stripes inside that area. Solly March's cross was a good one, but he just needed a taller player maybe to get on the end of that one. Coming up towards the last 10 minutes of the first half in a high-octane Anfield here. Liverpool 1 up, but it could be more than that. But here come Brighton offering a little bit of resistance. And almost an own goal. Alisson Becker having to turn that one behind. Came off, and I think it came off Alexander-Arnold here. But Brighton here growing into the game in the last 5 minutes or so. This really is, and could have gone anywhere, that. I'll come back to that question, Russ, in a second or two, because Brighton here have a corner and a chance to equalise. 10 minutes left of the first half. Liverpool 1, Brighton 0, but it's a very, very slender lead, although Liverpool should be they should have at least had 2 or 3 goals by now, but they have a corner to defend, and it's going to be Solly March. He's probably not the liveliest of all the attackers that Brighton have on display here. Looked very good against Manchester United. March's corner caused 1 or 2 problems there for Alisson, who fists the ball away, and now here come Liverpool on the counter-attack. And they'll attack now if they can. Oh, that's a poor ball. Poor ball, really, when you think about it then. Liverpool had 3 or 4 in attack there and had Brighton at their peril and didn't take the chances. Right, I'll come back to the question now, Russ. Who do you think will win at Anfield? I would say Liverpool, but at the moment, the last 5 minutes or so, I have to say Liverpool for the large periods of the first half, Russ, have been rather dominant and have hit the bar and have forced Matt Ryan into that miraculous save early doors before Mo Salah scored. But you would have thought the floodgates would have opened. But here come Brighton here. They're having a good go here, aren't they? As they come up towards the area. This is proper now. Proper can't find an outlet on the far side, or on the near side rather, and managed to get it away. Liverpool just having a dicey 5 minutes or so here. Brighton's best spell of the first half this, and they are going for it. Bissouma is at the hub of all the good things, and Chris Hughton must be encouraged by the last 5 minutes from his point of view. Paul Trollope, his assistant, of course, had some very good success with Bristol Rovers a few years ago when he was one of the youngest managers in the game, Paul Trollope. Some big games tomorrow. Watford, Crystal Palace, and of course Fulham Burnley at Fulham, and Newcastle versus Chelsea. Some big games coming up tomorrow, and of course Russell will be at in the Old Trafford Combox for a very big game up at Old Trafford, because it's Manchester United against Tottenham Hotspur and the Monday game live. And what a game that promises to be at Old Trafford. 8 o'clock kickoff. Let me remind you. Oh, and Alisson's made a mistake and almost got away with it. In fact, it's a foul. But Alisson there, he's had 1 or 2 nervy moments there, and Glenn Murray almost profited from it. In fact, he fouled Alisson when going for the ball, but my goodness me, he took a risk there, the Liverpool goalkeeper, and he hasn't looked convincing today, although he did look convincing in his first 2 matches. He certainly has looked far from that today. And there'll be people questioning Klopp's sanity to pay £60 million for this man. I'll tell you what, if he had conceded there, I think Jurgen Klopp would have been wearing egg on his face. This is Mo Salah now for Liverpool. They've just been a little bit careless the last 5 or 10 minutes, Liverpool. Really need to put on some really have some professionals' pride and just get themselves back into this game, get themselves back into that rhythm they had in the first 25 minutes, because Brighton have had a good spell here and could well and should be level. Here's Milner now for Liverpool. They just need to get that fluent passing back. Over to the far side it goes. Manny with the Manny waits in the middle. Salah's cross. Salah getting on the end of that. And hooked away there by Brighton. And out for a throw. Good defending that. Still 1-0. It's well, it's not as clear-cut as we all expected it would actually be. Wijnaldum trying to read it on the edge of the area. Milner now takes over on the right-hand side. keeps it in by the byline and then wins another throw-in off Gitan Bong. Time to play. We are in English, so if you're commenting English, JB Live hashtag. Please hashtag JB Live. So please comment with that. We only speak one language, and that's English. I can't speak French, I can't speak German, I can't speak anything like that. English is the nation. English is where we are. And offside given against Liverpool. Free kick. Trent Alexander-Arnold, the man, caught offside. Well, I'm having a look at the replay here, guys, and I think the linesman's got that one wrong. Alexander-Arnold, I wonder if he's shaking his head there. I'm just seeing him there, and he seems perplexed about the decision as we are in the box, in the commentary box. 5 to go here in this game at Anfield. Liverpool 1, Brighton 0. Very slender lead though, but it's Mo Salah's second of the season. That's dividing the two protagonists at the moment. One ball in fact up towards Mo Salah. Keita is there too. Here he is now on the ball now, 20 yards inside the Brighton half of the field. Ronaldo now takes possession. Turns nicely, finds Robertson, back in field to Wijnaldum, still on the left hand side. Back in towards Virgil van Dijk. And now Gomez getting it over to the far side. Milner's there again, round the corner. Good football again from Liverpool. We know what they can do when they're on their game. They've had a bad 10 minutes, but now they've just got to get it back before half time. I think a second goal would be crucial to their chances of winning the game today, Liverpool. Considering Alisson has had one or two dodgy moments in this first half in the Liverpool goals. But Liverpool very comfortable in possession. This is Virgil van Dijk up towards Gigi Wijnaldum. Wijnaldum, or rather Mo Salah, back to Gomez. Now Wijnaldum has it. Wijnaldum gets it out to the near side. And here goes Andrew Robertson, who's not been afraid to run down that left hand side and really give Knockaert a run for his money here. Or Montoya for that matter. And inside the last 4 minutes of the first half, and it's Liverpool 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 0 in a really interesting encounter here at Anfield. Ronaldo takes possession, finds Keita pirouettes, finds Ronaldo midway inside the Brighton half. Now the ball from left hand side, now the ball being forced back to halfway. Here's Robertson over the top. That's coolly done, and it's found Joe Gomez really well. Here's Trent Alexander-Arnold now. Infield to Wijnaldum. Wijnaldum again. Into the last 3 minutes. 1-0 to Liverpool. Slender lead. Mo Salah the goal scorer. And here comes Brighton now to bring it away with Bidsuma. And he loses out this time. A chance here now for Liverpool again to break with Sadio Mane. Mane again, just easing the tempo here. This is James Milner on the left hand side. Milner back in field. Back to Milner again. He scored the penalty against Palace last week. And of course Mane got the second goal in that win at Selhurst on Monday night. Firmino now on the edge of the D. Firmino tries to turn, gets his right shot off, and it was blocked by two Brighton players. And then the ball towards Robertson inside the penalty area. Robertson trying to get round the back of the defender, who actually did very well there for Brighton. Here's Firmino on the edge of the area. Firmino shoots and just over the bar. He claims a corner, and I don't think he's going to get one off Mr. Cabinet. Meanwhile, off the ball, we've seen an injury there to Glenn Murray. Murray was down. I didn't see what happened, so I don't know what happened. I'd have to have a look at the replay to give you guys a flavour of what actually went on. But what I can tell you that that's a good strike from Firmino with his right foot, and I think Wijnaldum, it's an innocuous challenge. It's nothing against Gigi Wijnaldum. It's just Murray's gone down there and he's injured himself, well, throwing himself about, and that's really the crux of the matter. So there was no blame really attached to Gigi Wijnaldum really in that respect. So we're coming towards half time here at Anfield, 1-0 to Liverpool. We're going to take a 10-minute break as usual and then come back for second half commentary and one thing and another. The Saturday game live coming from Anfield. The goal really from Brighton's own doing. I'm just seeing a replay now, and they give the ball away rather stupidly. It's Balaguno who gives the ball away, and the ball from Fred from Firmino, and then Mo Salah on the right hand flank with his left foot, side puts it first time into the left hand corner of Matt Ryan's goal. Low into the bottom left hand corner, I should say, if you want me to be a little bit more descriptive. There's a big smile I can see there on Jurgen Klopp's face. And Matt Ryan, I've just seen there, bashes the post just after that goal in absolute disgust. We played the 45. We've now got a couple of extra minutes on at the end of the first period. And, well, it's been an interesting first half. Brighton have given as good as they've got. Haven't really registered a shot on goal, but they've had a good spell of possession, had a good bright 10 minutes or so. But then from the 40th minute, Liverpool seem to have got their noses back on track again, after just tailing off a little bit towards the end of that period. Here's Keita now for Liverpool. The second goal would be also crucial. Still 1-0 in the match at the City ground between Aitor Karanka's Nottingham Forest and Gary Monk's Birmingham City. I'm sure Russ Burnham will keep us up to date with any score flashes from that game as that goes on, but we will give you updates on that. And we'll now play the 1 minute of the two as we go into the last minute of the stoppage time. I should also stress it was a minimum of 2. Be interested to see Russ's thoughts on Burnley's second half display against Olympiacos. Did he think that the referee made some mistakes there? I think it might be a good time to go to Twitter. If you want to join me if you want to add me on Twitter, you can do. The Twitter address is Brighton have possession, is at Stutsy. That's STUTTSY 83. Okay, so remember the spelling, STUTTSY 83, Stutsy 83. Okay, that's the Twitter feed. Right, back to the game, and we've got about 10 seconds of it to go, of the first half that is. Keita in possession, and Liverpool now just content now to keep possession, and the referee, Mr. Cabinet, brings the first half to a close. Rather low-key sort of a closing there, but Brighton in trouble here at Anfield. They trail to a goal after 23 minutes by Mohamed Salah, his second goal of the season. He got one on the opening day against West Ham, and now he's got one here today against Brighton. But Brighton have stuck in there, made a real fight of it so far. Half time at the City ground here. It's Nottingham Forest 0, Birmingham City 1. That's could be a big moment for Birmingham. Give their season a real shot in the arm if they hang on there. But at Anfield, we're going to take a 10-minute break with the half-time score in this Premier League fixture, the tea-time kick-off of Liverpool 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 0. See you in 10 minutes. Welcome back to Anfield for the start of the second half. Well, Liverpool lead by a goal to nil. And it's the same two teams as they were before, as Liverpool attack the Kop end towards the far side. And we'll go with the 2-11 straight away. But Liverpool with Alisson in goal, Alexander-Arnold, Gomez, Van Dijk and Robertson across the back. Then it's Milner, Wijnaldum and Keita. And up front three are Salah, Firmino and Mane up front. And so they go forward again. Brighton get it away. Brighton with Ryan in goal. Then it's Montano, Baligungo, Guffey and Bonget across the back. Then it's Knockout, Stevens, Proper and Solly March, Bitsuma and Murray up front. I'll give you the two benches in just a second or two, because Liverpool are on the break inside the penalty area. Chance here for the number two, and it's for number two as there was an opportunity there for Firmino inside the penalty area, and he hooked that out. So, and it was hooked out, sorry, by Brighton. Forward again. Really was our first half, really, that ebbed and flowed in a lot of respects. We kick given against Liverpool that time. Foul there on number 24, Proper. It has certainly lived on the nerves a little bit at Anfield this afternoon. Two ways about that. Free kick taken. And a ball out of play before Solly March could get there. Liverpool with a 100% record. Win today, they would go top outright. Albeit, although Chelsea will have a chance to join them at the top, and 9 points if they were to win at Newcastle tomorrow. As that ball is intercepted, and a real opportunity here for Brighton, and it's Knockout leading the charge. Murray is also on the overlap as well. There's at least one in the middle. If Knockout can get his head up here and still going, and the cross back again, and Brighton have got a chance inside the area, and a shot wide. Oh, what a chance. Knockout making the break. Murray was there too, and Anthony Knockout with the opportunity. Murray making the break. The ball pulled back. Knockout wants it. The ball comes to Knockout on his left foot, and they pulls the shot wide. Oh my goodness me, that should have been the equaliser there. That was the best moment that Brighton have fashioned, and it came right at the start of the second half. Liverpool 1, Brighton 0 is still the scoreline. Inside that first 3 minutes, Brighton could have equalised. Here's Ryan, who saves have kept Brighton in the contest, and it might come from Murray. Nearly came for Solly March, incidentally. And here come Brighton again. They are looking very hungry at the start of the second half. Remember, Chris Hughton has never won a league match as a manager at Anfield in the Premier League. It would be a nice habit to get into if he could get a win here at Anfield today. They almost got the equaliser then. There's Solly March. I think he's been Brighton's best player, bar none. And just to remind anyone who's tuned in late, if you are open to comment with the starting or ending with the hashtag JBLive. Right, anyway, back to the game now. We're coming up towards the 4th minute mark of the second half, and Brighton have missed a gilt-edged chance at the start of that half. And here comes Brighton again, having a good spell here. Still, Stevens playing the ball back again, and opportunity again for Brighton to come forward, and they've lost possession. Here, and a real chance for Keita now to bring it away for Liverpool. Real tension here in this fantastic cold one at his Anfield, and that's a good ball by Alexander-Arnold, but just too much whip or too much venom to find Andy Robertson over on the far side. But Anthony Knockout, I'm just watching a replay, I think he just catches it slightly wrong here on his left foot, and Chris Hughton knows that was one of the most gilt-edged opportunities his team will get all afternoon, or all evening rather, to get level, get the equaliser, and really force a real tension-packed second half. But unfortunately for them, it remains 1-0 to Liverpool. The goal after 23 minutes from Mohamed Salah, who's now on the right hand side receiving a good ball from Robertson, and Salah tries to go infield, ran into traffic. The ball over on the far side, hooked only half away there by Balogun, and there's a Liverpool player going in there. In fact, he challenged Matt Ryan, and it was Firmino and Ryan going for the ball. Firmino has fouled Ryan and a free kick, and Firmino is actually in some considerable trouble here. Well, he's giving it the other way. The goalkeepers do get quite a fair deal more than a fair deal when it comes to protection, rather than the strikers. And well, look at Firmino's sock. I'm just looking at Firmino's sock there, and it's got a hole inside, so he's going to have to change that, I think, under the rules. Under any kind of rules now, under FIFA laws or Premier League laws, you've got to change your kit if it's ripped or you've got holes in it. But you know, they'd be right to go for that ball, so they're going to change the socks there of Firmino as Ryan now takes the kick. Liverpool just for a moment or two, whilst Firmino's getting running repairs on his sock, are down to 10 men. And well, that there's the. I'm just looking at the damage there. He's having to take the strappings off. This is going to be this is a little bit of an opportunity really to play into Brighton's hands here now, because obviously Liverpool having to make that change with Firmino's sock. And he's receiving the attention down there of the kit man. They're down on the excuse me sorry about that. On the near side here, it is a little bit it's got a little bit of an allergy there, a little bit of a cold coming down, and I do apologise for sneezing on mic there. Here's a long ball forward. They're looking for Alexander Arnold from James Milner, but he can't keep it in, and a throw in it is to Brighton and Hove Albion. Firmino is back with us on the field. He's running repair on the sock, has been rectified. In fact, he's changed his socks, strapped up, put his shin pads back on, and we're back underway. Gitambong with the throw here for Brighton and Hove Albion, wins another throw in, which he will take himself, the left back. Gitambong to take the throw then from about 10 yards from halfway, and he throws it very far into the Liverpool half of the field. Firmino on the chase on the right hand side, and bashed away by Shane Duffy for a throw to Liverpool, midway inside the Brighton and Hove Albion half. And Firmino is not going to take it. In fact, it's going to be Trent Alexander-Arnold to take it on the right hand side, and he throws it back to Gomez, who in turn finds Virgil van Dijk. £80 million worth of defender there. Scored on his debut in the FA Cup third round, you may remember, in January against Everton here at Anfield on that memorable Friday night. Here's the ball out towards Milner. Milner on the right hand side, and that's a good measured cross towards the back post. In comes Robertson trying to hook the ball back across the face, but he couldn't succeed. He didn't get a good enough or substantial enough contact to knock it back across the goal mouth a second time, and behind for a goal kick to Liverpool. Good cross there from Milner, just too much venom on it, and in the end it would have asked a lot of Andy Robertson to even get the shot, even an effort on target, let alone hook it back across the goal mouth. Matt Ryan with the kick for Brighton, who are still hanging on in there. They've had a glorious opportunity since the restart from half-time to Anthony Knockout, when he's hit a left foot shot from 10 yards wide of the target. Big opportunity that for Brighton and Hove Albion to get themselves back into this game, but it remains 1-0 here live on the JB Clark YouTube channel. The Saturday game live, the match from Anfield between Liverpool and Brighton Hove Albion. Remember, City have dropped points. Here's Solly March on the near side. Solly March to the byline. He's away from Alexander-Arnold. March's cross hooked away by Gomez. And that was a real opportunity there for the men from the south coast to try and get an equaliser, but now at the other end it's Mo Salah down the right hand side and then loses out possession. Now Dale Stevens wins it in midfield, and then a bad touch there by Proper, and he's giving it away, and a big opportunity here, but it's going to be Matt Ryan's ball. 10 minutes gone in the second half, and both teams now starting to ask each other questions. This is an interesting passage of play now. 10 minutes we've had, and Brighton have missed a big opportunity there at 1-0 through Knockout. It is a really, really difficult game. I would have thought, and a lot of people would have thought, that this was a real home banker for Liverpool, considering their two results have yielded 6 goals and none conceded. But then when you look at the result that Brighton had against Manchester United, they're no slouches either. 3-2 they won at the Amex last Sunday. And what a performance that was. 6 days ago, that result, and it will be talked about. In fact, it's the second successive year that Manchester United have come to the Amex and have lost. But it will be all on Mourinho's side on Monday night, as we bring you Monday night, the Monday game live from Old Trafford. Ross Burnley will be the man in the box for that one, as Manchester United take on Tottenham Hotspur at Old Trafford. Big game at this stage of the season. Another heavyweight clash to bring you live on the JB Claret YouTube channel. This is Alexander Arnold on the right hand side, measures in the cross towards the penalty area and nodded out for a corner to Liverpool. Good defending this time by Balaguno. A chance here now for Liverpool to get that insurance policy of a second goal. Virgil van Dijk forward from the back. James Milner to take the corner from the right hand side. Milner's corner, right footed into the penalty area, headed away by Brighton. Salah returns it, plays the ball out again, looking for Milner. A little flick away by Marsh, finds Milner this time and hooked away. And well, Basuma in the walls there a little bit, Montero rather in the walls there a little bit there. Alexander Arnold then to take the throw in for Liverpool. It really has been a tough test. Solly March now down by the near corner flag. But he's giving it away. Big chance here for Firmino. Good tackle there by Stevens rather. And Stevens almost making a duck's dinner of the clearance. Meanwhile, the shot from Keita. Bright breaks it on the for Salah on the second ball. The ball breaks to the goalkeeper. It's actually 5 shots on goal to Liverpool. Brighton have had the one. They wanted a handball, which I don't think was going to be given. Well, actually, yeah, armed out. I think that's a penalty, actually. Didn't look it from the first angle. We saw it from the reverse angle. I saw it from, but from a second one, a more revealing angle, did look a penalty. We could have had 2 penalties today, Liverpool conceivably here. It's 19, drawn 8, lost none in the previous 22 Premier League home matches. April 27th match. This is James Milner on the right hand side. Mo Salah, and he was surely fouled there, but Mr. Cabanel lets it go. And here's Guitan Bon with he's lost it to Milner. And now Wijnaldum, and Liverpool now cutting in field from the right hand side, but still midway inside their own half, having to build from the back. Liverpool 1, Brighton 0. Very slender lead though that the Reds have got here at Anfield. Oh, that's a foul, a clear foul there. As we come up towards an hour gone, and it's Basumi who's in big trouble here. Foul on Milner in the centre of the Brighton half, almost dead central and midway inside the Brighton half here. Late challenge there by the... In fact, it wasn't. It was number 14 Proper rather than... Oh, it was Balaguno. It was Balaguno. Oh, Balagun, I should say. So a free kick As we come up towards an hour, it's about 30 yards, maybe slightly more than that. It's just a little bit to the left of centre, so it's not actually dead central as I initially thought it would be. Milner and Salah, the two-man committee. I think it's going to be a floater, I'd have thought. Looks far too far out for a shot, but you never know with Liverpool. You know, some sharpshooters, and I've seen that sort of range, if you remember, against Hoffenheim in the Champions League last week. It's going to be last year as the cross comes in towards the penalty area. Header one inside the area. It was Gomez's header. Played it out towards the left-hand side. It was Mo Salah crossing it in, and it was Joe Gomez actually with a header, and it was a 3-1 at that. And in the end, he headed it neither side of the goalkeeper, headed it straight at him. There's a chance though for Solly March. Edge of the area for Brighton. Still a chance here for the Seagulls as the cross comes into towards the penalty area. Still might break for Brighton, but it won't. Liverpool hook it out. Hello, Cars and Buses Sport. Hi to you. Hashtag JB Live, please. Right, so let's clear up some of these incidents. The referee now getting involved in one or two of the things as we see a foul there. Is it on James Milner? My number 22, Montoya. Montoya has been spoken to by the referee, nothing more. Just to remind you, earlier today, Wolves 1, Manchester City 1. Big result that for Wolves. Arsenal 3, West Ham 1. Their first win of the season. Bournemouth and Everton finished 2-2, but lost a man each. Huddersfield had a man sent off in their 0-0 with Cardiff. 0-0 draw with Cardiff. Southampton were down to 10 men, but lost to Leicester. Here at Anfield, it's 1-0. Goal after 23 minutes from Mo Salah. But it's been anything but plain sailing for Liverpool. Brighton have made a game of it, and knockout has come very close. Liverpool have hit the bar as well, and have forced Matt Ryan into a couple of very smart saves, one of which from point-blank range from Firmino in the first half. Still, here come Liverpool with Mane on the ball. Salah waits in the centre. Robertson on the overlap, and he can't reach the ball as they try to fashion something down the left-hand side. There's going to be a change here. It's going to be Jordan Henderson to come on here for Liverpool. Well, it's been anything but plain sailing here in the red half of Merseyside this evening. And Jordan Henderson getting his final instructions as we now go into the 63rd minute now, coming up towards 63 minutes of the second half gone. Brighton get a throw in. We're going to have the first substitution of the afternoon in just a minute or two. Gitambon with the throw. We've played the 63 minutes. Liverpool 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 1-0 is the score in Anfield. It's 1-0, I should say. Solly March has been penalised, and the referee cabinet having one or two words to say at the moment. So Jordan Henderson is going to come on now. Liverpool in a minute or two as Liverpool now look to try and make certain of this result now. But it's given away here. A chance here now for the opportunity here for Bissouma. Here he is now on the near side. Bissouma, number 8. Cuts in field. Gets the ball out towards the far side. Kept in really well here by Knockaert. And now Montoya. Bissouma now deep inside the Liverpool half. Out to the left hand side and Gitambon. Back to Bissouma once again. Bissouma thought might just got it onto his right foot. The appeal handball Brighton, and they get a free kick in a very good position against James Milner, the captain. In a very promising position. It was Proper who hit it up against Milner's hand, and that might be ironic because Liverpool have had much more clearer handball appeals than the one they've just conceded, and could have had 2 penalties from it. But Brighton here have a fantastic situation to exploit, and if they can get level, my word, we're in for a final 25 minutes here. We're in for a grandstand finish, folks, here. And my goodness, we've had a few of those so far on the Saturday games. So far, still 1-0 to Birmingham with 65 gone at Nottingham Forest. Looks like at the moment a big stand there. Gary Monk's side are going to get 3 crucial points And that will relieve some pressure down there in the second city. Villa having drawn 1-1 at home to Reading today. A last minute penalty when they decided to sit on their laurels. So will it be the number 8 here, Bissouma? There's also knockout in the picture as well. A chance maybe for Solly March, but it's Bissouma's free kick deflected and behind for a corner. And now then, a real chance here for Brighton. Bissouma struck it, hit the wall, went behind, hit Ronaldo, I think, in the right end of the wall. So a corner kick. Liverpool still to make their change. And it's Brighton with the corner. Solly March to take on the far side. Can they get an equaliser here? So it's Solly March's corner from the right hand side, curling towards the back post. Stevens is there, but he's been penalised. So a bit of pushing and shoving going on at the back post against Dale Stevens. And a free kick to Liverpool, which will release a little bit of tension here. In fact, it's Duffy, sorry, rather than Dale Stevens. It did look as if it was a number 6 and not a number 4. But there you go. Jordan Henderson still waiting to come on here. That's the Brighton fans trying to make some noise as well, but I think we're going to see the change, and so it's going to be Manny, I think, that's gone off. No, it's Keita. So Henderson comes on, and comes on after 67 minutes. 67 minutes. Okay, there we go. So the first change has happened now after 66 and a half minutes, or 66 and 3/4 minutes, but we're into the 67th minute of the contest. Here's Joe Gomez now for Liverpool. 1-0 up, but it's a under 1-0 lead as we come towards the halfway mark of the second half. This is Trent Alexander-Arnold down the right hand side, taken on Solly March. He's shaken off Solly March, and into the penalty area it goes to Salah. Salah couldn't reach it there, and it's hooked away. So it looks as if it's like for like. Keita off and Jordan Henderson on, and that's a very dodgy back pass then by Virgil van Dijk, and he put Alisson under pressure, and Bisanko was running in like a batting out of hell there to try and beat Alisson to the punch there, and he almost succeeded. That was not a very good pass back at all. Well, that could have been trouble. Could have been trouble there for Liverpool. And at the way Brighton have gone about their business in the second half, it's almost impossible. So far it has been anyone's for the taking. So there's a free kick to Liverpool. No, there isn't. Carry on, said the referee. Milner has possession. And here's Trent Alexander-Arnold. Alexander-Arnold pointing in towards Mo Salah. Little flick round the corner, back to Firmino now. Firmino now to the right of the edge of the 6-yard area. Gets his shot off, and it's well fielded. 2 yards off his line there by Matt Ryan. Just drifted out to the right, got his right-footed shot in. It was a good effort, and Ryan did really well there. This was Alisson there. A little bit of ball juggling there actually by the goalkeeper, but Virgil van Dijk there played a very risky back pass, and that could have been a disastrous moment there for Liverpool, who have not been good at all in the second half. I've been very, very disappointed with the way Liverpool play today. I expected them to be their entertaining self, but they're having a real rare off day. You don't see that happening too much at Anfield. Well, we covered a lot of their game. Well, we covered 2 or 3 of their matches last season, especially the European Cup quarter-final. You might remember against Manchester City in the first leg we covered, and that was a real smashing evening of real entertaining football, where Liverpool on that night were just quite simply unplayable. We're inside the last 20 and a half minutes here of the second half. This is an opportunity for another free kick. That's a foul there by Bissouma on James Milner. Birmingham still leading at Forest. Liverpool leading here 1-0. Slender leads in both games, it looks like at the moment. We'll keep us up to date and we'll flash the score up on the comment section screen. But at the moment it's 1-0 to Liverpool in the Premier League. Championship, Forest against Birmingham. Two big time clubs and the moment in the doldrums at the moment. Forest have been for some time, so too have Birmingham City. Hard to believe that the first £1 million transfer in British football actually happened between those two clubs. Forest playing Birmingham back in 1979 for £1 million for Trevor Francis. And now we're talking about three figures for players now. Three-figure millions. Hundreds of millions now for players now. It's the transfer market's gone completely and utterly crazy. Here's a chance now for Manny inside the area. Couldn't get it out. Chance here for Wijnaldum. Couldn't reach the ball. Henderson still might for Liverpool. He's now taken over the captain's armband from James Milner, who was the original captain. Now then, opportunity here for Henderson to come forward. Finds Milner. Back to Henderson again. Bit more of an English feel to it, the Liverpool midfield. 20 minutes just under to go. Here's James Milner now for Liverpool. 1-0 they lead, but it's a slender lead here against Brighton and Hove Albion. And here's Mo Salah. Salah now running with from the right into the centre of the field. Salah now spots maybe an opportunity on the left hand side. He has it with Robertson. Robertson now pirouettes. And now Salah gets the ball 25 yards from, maybe 30 yards from goal. Ball hooked away by Brighton, but still inside the Brighton half. Liverpool go forward. And here is Trent Alexander-Arnold on the right hand side. Back in field to Henderson. Henderson back towards Alexander-Arnold as they try to break down the right hand side towards the Brighton penalty area. Salah has the shot blocked by one of his strike partners, Manny. Would have been a rather ambitious shot to take on. Still 1-0 to Liverpool. Liverpool now having a little bit of possession and having a go here. This is Robertson down the near side, but he runs into traffic and it's hooked away here by Brighton. But only as far as Henderson chips on there, and a chance now for a cross into the penalty area. A little quick back, and it was almost an own goal. Almost an own goal by Duffy. Robertson again making the break. Football this on the left hand side. Robertson making the run down towards the left of the penalty area, and Duffy on another day that could have put through his own net. It's a corner now for Liverpool, taken short here to Robertson. Robertson back to Milner. That hit the hand there surely, and it's a free kick given, I think. A few ironic cheers from the Liverpool fans. Feel they should have had two handball penalties in this game. Bissouma is the man that's been penalised. Clearly had his arm up there. So a free kick to Liverpool. 17 minutes plus stoppage time to go here at Anfield in what's going to be a tense and a very tense sort of finish here. One has to say. Birmingham winning at Forest in the Championship. In fact, it's a second goal. Adams has scored for Birmingham. So Forest are 2-0 down to Birmingham. Free kick to Liverpool here at Anfield. Birmingham winning 2-0 at Forest. And here's the free kick. Mo Salah with it in towards the penalty area. Headed out for a corner to the men from Merseyside. Duffy hooking it away. Manny having one or two words to say here. In fact, it's Glenn Murray, in fact, who heads it out. So Adams has scored for Birmingham City at Nottingham Forest. Liverpool's fifth corner of this contest. 73 minutes have been played. 73 minutes and three-quarter minutes into the penalty area. Virgil van Dijk was up amongst the front runners for that one. The ball out to the far side, and this is a chance here for Salah. Knocks the ball in there. They all go for it, and in the end it was a Brighton player got it out. I think it might have been Gitan Bonga got it away, and now Alexander-Arnold fires it out to the far side. And here's Mo Salah again. Salah in possession. The ball breaks kindly off a Brighton player now to Jordan Henderson. Still midway inside the Brighton half of the field. Forest have pulled one back. Joe Lorry in that game. Forest 1, Birmingham 2. Looks like there's going to be a grandstand finish at the City Ground. Russie's being kept busy with the goals that are going in at the moment. 2 goals in as many minutes up at down at Nottingham. Here at Anfield, it's 1-0 to Liverpool. This is Firmino now on the break, and it's going to come off the defender, which is Bissouma. Bissouma getting the flick away. It's a free kick, I think, or a throw in. It's going to be a double substitution anyway. And it's number 14 that's coming off, and number 9, Lucadia. And Jaman Bask is going to come on as well for Anthony Knockout. I've forgotten what the other substitute. Solly March has come off there, so that's the change there. So no more Solly March now, which is a shame because I thought he was one of their better players. Cross comes in by Firmino towards the penalty area, headed away by Brighton. Quarter of an hour just over to go, and well, it's going to be quite a finish here at. It's going to be quite a finish now, as Alexander Arnold has possession. Alexander Arnold back in field once again. Brighton have made 2 substitutions. Liverpool have made the 1. Forest 2-1 down against Birmingham City. Just to remind you of earlier today, Wolves 1, Man City 1, Arsenal 3, West Ham 1, Bournemouth 2, Everton 2. Both teams had a man sent off each. Yellow card there to one of the Liverpool players. Huddersfield, Cardiff 0-0. Huddersfield lost a man in that match as well. Southampton had Hubier sent off. They lost 2-1 to Leicester City. Trent Alexander-Arnold was the recipient of the red card, the yellow card, I should say, not red, yellow. Right, Stanley Sturridge is going to come on now for the remainder of the match. He's going to be, don't know who's going to be replaced yet, but we know he's going to be coming on as that ball swept in towards the penalty area. Good punch away by Alisson. Much more assured goalkeeping there by the Brazilian. Signed from Roma for over £60 million. JB for man in the match. Mo Salah. And for Birmingham, Lukas Lukowicz. Well, I hadn't seen the game at the City ground, but at the moment I think Lukowicz must be performing very well for Birmingham. So it looks as if Lukowicz could well be the man that's the difference in that game at the City ground. I haven't seen what's events there, obviously, because we've been concentrating on events in Merseyside rather than Nottingham this evening. As that ball is kicked away by Alisson. Headed back once again. Good football this has been. And Brighton have played their part in a really interesting match as well. And the flag marks just stay down here. And Alisson in a bit of trouble. And that's going to be a corner kick to Brighton. Virgil van Dijk there, a little bit brainless there. And really an opportunity now for Brighton. Lucadia is on the field and he's a very good player as well. Put Van Dijk under a lot of pressure, and Alisson was off limits there. Can Brighton equalise? What a grandstand finish it could be if they do. Corner kick from the far side. Brighton with a chance here. Lifted in towards the penalty area. It's another corner. It came off Robertson. 12 minutes left plus stoppage time. It's going to be Bissouma to try again from the far side. Brighton preparing a third substitution. It's going to be number 13, Pascal Gross, to come on. Brighton looking for this equaliser. They came so close early doors through knockout, but he didn't get the desired effect. He's now gone off, remember. Here's the Basalka with the corner in towards the area. They've got a couple of chances and the ball just one break for Brighton. There were 3 players in blue and white. Strikes unmarked. And they just didn't get the bounce of the ball. What a great corner by Bissouma. And in fact, it was number 24, Proper. First touch, the ball came quite fast to his foot. Couldn't get it under the correct control. And in the end, Liverpool got away with it. Daniel Sturridge about to come on to replace Mane, who hasn't scored today. But this lead is a very precarious one here for Liverpool. Trailing 1-0. Pascal Gross is also on for Brighton, who have made their final change. We'll confirm who he's replaced in just a second or two, I would have thought. Alexander Arnold away. He's placed Bissouma, in fact. So Gross on for Bissouma as we now go into the final stages. Brighton have made all 3 substitutions. Liverpool have 1 left, and Alisson playing chicken and losing it, and could have easily conceded a penalty as well. Liverpool really are riding on the edge here, and if they're not careful, Brighton will punish them. And Brighton as we saw against Manchester United last week, have got the capabilities to punish any team that tries to play chicken or play clever. Really was brainless there almost from Alisson. This is Gross on the near side. Infield to Stevens. Back to Gross again. Left hand side. Gitan Bong now offers a bit of support. Brighton can sense a point here potentially. Ball whipped in. Still a chance. Oh, it just wouldn't break again inside the area for Brighton. They still have possession here. Wow, what a second half this is going to be now. Wow, Brighton's still going for it. They've got Murray on the field. They've got Gross on the field. They've got number 9, Locadia. And now here come Liverpool. And here comes Ronaldo. Into Robertson, Sturridge and Salah wait in the centre. It's a corner kick, which will suit Liverpool a little bit because it gives them a little bit of breathing space, would you believe? Brighton have had chances in this second half and there's still 10 minutes of this to go. And I think if the more it stays 1-0, you sense that Brighton might get another chance and could possibly take it. And Alisson, not for the first time, Glenn Murray, I mean that could have easily been a penalty there. He could have made more significant contact with Glenn Murray. And that could have easily been a penalty to Brighton. As it happens, it's a Liverpool corner. Can they finish the job? They've made very heavy work of this today, I'm afraid, Liverpool. The ball in towards the penalty area, headed only half away. Here come Brighton this time. Just took it in anywhere they can. Wow. There's been some finish this time. There's no doubt about that. We've had some smashing. We've had a smashing second half. Looks like Mo Salah could be the man there for the JB man of the match. You've got about until the 90th minute to do your JB man of the match, of course. Hashtag JBMOTM. Here comes Robertson now down the near turn of the far side, I should say, and cut out by Duffy, the attempted cross. What a game this is turning out to be. 8 to play. Still Liverpool 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 0. What a game. And Brighton are making a good go of this, you have to say. Ball back with Ryan, who's probably been up there for man in the match as well, possibly. A couple of the saves he's made have been absolutely world class. A good kick forward there towards the number 9 Locadia. Hooked away this time by Trent Alexander-Arnold. What a game this has been. What a game this has been. It's a throw-in now to be taken by Yanga Bayesh. He's going to leave it, in fact, to Gitan Bong. Still 2-1 to Birmingham City down at Nottingham Forest. It's a bit of a hanging on job by the sounds of it there. Birmingham away from home at the City Ground in the Midlands. In the Northwest on Merseyside here. The game we're concentrating on, Liverpool against Brighton. We will be with you until around about 7:25 this evening. We've had a cracking evening's football. We've only had the one goal, but again, like the previous 2 Saturday games live, we've had drama in plenty of doses. But as I say, just the one goal in it, and Brighton are still very much in this contest. Remember the 2 previous Saturday games live, we saw, well, we've had 4 of them. We had an afternoon fixture on the opening day with Newcastle, of course, if you remember. We're into the 12th game of our live coverage this season, and what games we've brought you. I think we've only got out of the 12 games. I think we've had 1-0 so far to bring in. That was at St Mary's, incidentally, a couple of weeks ago when Southampton and Burnley fought out a goalless draw. Liverpool have possession. 84 minutes have been played here at Anfield. 6 minutes plus time added on to go, and Brighton, you get a feeling, and I don't usually have feelings that much, but if I get a feeling here that Brighton are going to have another chance. Lukaku plays the ball forward. Lukaku gets the ball again. Liverpool have got games against Leicester City, Tottenham and Southampton. And that's a handball, in fact, against number 24 there, Proper. What's perceived to be a handball. This is Salah now, 15 yards inside the Brighton half. Has to play it back over the halfway line. This is Virgil van Dijk.
Ronaldo takes it 10 yards inside the Brighton half. Looks like Mo Salah, unless there's a real change of swing of votes in the next few minutes or so. Next 5 minutes or so is going to be nailed on for JB man of the match. This is, although I would say from Brighton's point of view, I think Matt Ryan's run them close, and I think Solly Marsh has had a good game too. Special mentions to them so far. Here's a chance now for Sturridge. Does well, Sturridge. Good close control there, body. Former England man. But he's lost out again. Murray winning possession. That's surely going to be a foul there on Glenn Murray. But the referee hasn't given it. That might be a tad controversial and a tad harsh on Brighton. Has Liverpool now looked to go for the kill and kill off Brighton here in the grandest of manners? We're just basically now dealing in very little minutes here. We've got about 4 minutes for stoppage time almost to go. Here's James Milner now for Liverpool. A little chip in there. The flag stays down. Back to Alexander-Arnold inside the area. Alexander-Arnold shoots just narrowly wide of the right-hand post. And that would have settled the issue there and then. Quite didn't stay down, and quite rightly too. Ball pulled back there. Andy Robertson, in fact, of all people. And in fact, he got a deflection. I think it's gone behind for a goal kick though. And not a corner. Well, it is a corner, in fact. So a corner to Liverpool. 3.5 minutes almost to go. Mo Salah to take it on the near side. The right hand side as we look. Salah with the corner. Left foot towards the 6-yard area. And a little almighty scramble. There's a little flick on in there too. And Brighton get it away. Now they've got a bit of defending to do, the Seagulls. And Forest, there's great drama at the City Ground. I'll bring you that in a second because Salah's on the ball. Salah shoots and hits it miles wide and into the cup behind for a goal kick to Brighton. But we've had late drama at the City Ground. Forest 2, Birmingham 2, Murphy with the goal, and another great save I'm just seeing on the replay here from Matt Ryan. In fact, it might have been a combination of Duffy and Ryan. But, well, we've had a finish and a half down at the City Ground. We're in for a grandstand finish here. 1-0, and it's still evenly poised. And Brighton have had chances in this game. Chris Hughton's men still very much alive in this contest, and they still might get an equaliser yet. But Liverpool really haven't shown their fluent best here today. Have been absolutely disappointed with some of their play, certainly when they've been passing the ball back to Alisson. They've seen sending him down the river a few times. Brian tried to break on the right. That's surely going to be a free kick here. We'll foul down the number 22, which of course is Montoya. And they've taken the free kick quickly, rather too quickly, because Liverpool had enough sufficient numbers back. Here's Guitan Bong if he can reach it. He does reach it. Guitan Bong in field again. Still a chance here for Brighton. They only need one chance, and if they take that chance, they could claim an almighty brilliant point out of this. And what a week it would be for them. Beat Manchester United and get a point at Anfield, and they've almost got the point at Anfield. A brilliant header there by Gross, and a brilliant save. Crossing from the left, from the right hand side. Gross gets his head on it. It looks an equaliser all the way, but Alisson Becker, the goalkeeper, the Brazilian keeper, makes a marvellous save down in the way to his left. Still not over yet. 90 seconds just under the goal. Liverpool about to make a change, and it's Joel Matip about to replace Trent Alexander-Arnold. Wow, what a game this has been. Well, it was his miscued clearance. I don't know why we're seeing a replay of that ball. I think it was... But it's Joel Matip on now for Alexander-Arnold. And Brighton could still get the equaliser. We've played 89 minutes. Mo Salah is the man of the match, incidentally. Into the penalty area it goes. We've now almost played. It's going to be Mo Salah to be man of the match award. I can't see any turnaround in votes in the next minute or two. But it's going to be a tense end to the game. And Brighton come looking for this equaliser. It's in there towards the penalty area and headed goalwards again. This time I think it was Duffy that was up from the back and he couldn't get any purchase on it. But this was a superb header from Pascal Gross. It looked to go all the way. But Alisson Becker has had one or two dodgy moments this evening. Well, he's made up for that with a superb save, and that could win Liverpool the match. and 3 points and keep their 100% record very much intact. There's 5 added minutes being added on, I believe, at the City Ground between Forest and Birmingham. That's 2-2. We're coming up towards the end of 90 minutes here at Anfield, and it's not cut and blow dry yet for Liverpool. They're not cut and dry yet. They're not home and dry yet. Here's Sturridge now on the ball, deep inside the Brighton territory. That's surely going to be a free kick. Foul there by Stevens. 3 added minutes at the end of this game. And in fact, Russ has changed the vote to Alisson. Well, I'm surprised at that. So we're going to give it to Alisson. We have to get out these habits, guys, of changing man in a match every 2 minutes. When you vote, that counts as the vote. I'll have to have a word with you guys on a different video just to go through the whole rules, because I don't think we've got any rules in place. I think we've got to get some rules and regs in for these man in a match votes. I really do. But we'll change it this time, because I'm being mighty generous and you're an employee of mine, Russ. So Alisson gets man in a match after some deliberation. So Alisson Becker is the man in the match for JB man in the match, although special mention to Matt Ryan and to Solly March, who have both had marvellous games. We played the 1 minute of the free. Ball played into the area. It's 5 minutes at Birmingham. We'll stick until the end and find out what's happened at the City Ground, because that looks a tense finish at the City Ground. I haven't seen any of the game, but it looks a really good game in the Championship. Here's a chance inside the area for Liverpool. Now Brighton have got less than 2 minutes to try and find an equaliser, and they've had chances in this game. As Locadia was on the prowl there, but it's been knocked away. And here's Mo Salah. Salah towards the edge of the Brighton area. Plays it into Sturridge on the right-hand side. Sturridge runs at the defender. Sturridge gets the shot off. Deflected. It could have gone anywhere. And it's going to be kept in play, in fact. Brighton keep it in play. Good defensive work there. Gitan Bong did really well. 70 seconds of the match to go. What a finish it has been, and credit to Brighton, whatever happens here today, because they've really shown themselves well. Even if it's going to end in defeat, it still might not be. There's still just under a minute to go. We've got 50 seconds left, and if Liverpool concede now, wow. But it's going to be Sturridge now on the break. He'll keep this now down in the corner. Milner now, the man of experience, the man of all seasons, keeps it in on the right-hand side. Just takes his time, finds Sturridge. Sturridge now running at the defender. Plays the ball back into the area. Salah has the shot, hits it into the top end and behind for a goal kick. But I don't know if there's going to be enough time for Brighton to get the ball down the other end towards the Anfield Road end. Looks like their latest escapade, Brighton, is going to end in a defeat, but a glorious defeat, because they've really given it their best shot this afternoon. Matt Ryan, who's had a super match in goal, brings it away. That 23rd minute goal looks as if it's going to decide it from Mohamed Salah. It was only his second goal of the season. The referee blows for the end. Wow, what a finish. And let's give credit to Brighton. Liverpool have won the match. A goal after 23 minutes from Mohamed Salah has won the day for Liverpool. But let me give a special mention to Brighton and Hove Albion. They really give it their all. It has to be said, they were absolutely superb in the second half. Knockaert had the best chance of the second half for me, and he should have made it 1-1. And then there was the other chance inside the last 10 minutes for Pascal Gross, a bullet header, and Alisson, who's not been at his most best tonight, he made a telling contribution. He made a telling save, and that save in the latter stages of the match won Liverpool the 3 points ultimately in the end, as well as Mo Salah's goal. But Brighton have got nothing to be ashamed about. They lost today. They may have lost today, but they've lost in a very glorious way possible, if there is such a glorious way as to lose. But it's all about Mohamed Salah. But Alisson is the man in the match, the JB man in the match, although special mention, as I said, to Solly March, who had a good game. Matt Ryan had a super game as well. Brighton defeat today, no goal, but plenty of positives for Chris Hughton and his men to take from this game, as they will make the long trip back to the South Coast tonight. And it's good of the Brighton players to clap their fans who have made such a long journey and a long sacrifice to get up to the northwest from down there in Sussex. It's going to be a long trip back for those travelling Brighton fans today. But having said all that, they made a game of it, Brighton. There's no doubt about that. But they've lost again, and the final whistle has gone as Russ reports back. It's finished here over at the City Ground. It's finished Nottingham Forest 2, Birmingham City 2, and Forest have earned a point there. So drama there at the end, and drama here at Anfield. So that brings us to the end of that game. Just tried to remind you, thank you to Russ Burnham for his help tonight. And hopefully we'll have him in the commentary box on Monday night, because we're going to be another match live, and it's a Monday night live match as Manchester United take on Tottenham Hotspur at Old Trafford. I'll be in the presenter's chair. Russ Burnham will be in the commentary box for that one. And who knows what might be. Before that as well, we'll have a Clarets match for you. Live or delayed. It will be Fulham against Burnley tomorrow. And what a game that promises to be. Burnley and Fulham both needing wins. Both in the bottom 4 at the moment of the table. Liverpool have won by 1-0. They have 100% record and have gone top of the Premier League as it stands tonight. Thank you very much for listening. Join us again tomorrow, and join me and Russ as well on Monday night for that Manchester United Tottenham match. But here the story at Anfield is Liverpool keep their 100% record going. Winners against a plucky Brighton by 1-0. But my goodness, Brighton, credit to Brighton, they run them very, very close. Thank you very much for listening in. From me, JB, enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Enjoy match of the day. But until tomorrow, take care. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.